everyone, welcome back to the third part of my Strangetown 50 years later mini series. This is the third part, like I said already, but the first part included the Curious family, the second part included the Grunt family, and this part we're going to focus on the Smith family. Like I've stated in other parts, this isn't all the people who are technically related to the Smiths, but these are the people who I kind of considered mainline descendants, and it just overall just makes it easier for me to break off and decide like who's going to be in which video so I can cover all the Sims that I have in this town. So the first Sim we're going to be starting off with is first son of Jenny and Paul, and that is Johnny. So Johnny and Renee were this close to being empty nesters when they got the call that their new grandchildren needed a new home. How will Johnny, Renee, and Bradley cope with the sudden loss of Sasha? How will they keep her memory alive for her young children? So this is Johnny, Renee, Bradley, Quinta, and Xander. We're going to learn a little bit more about them in a second. So here we are at the original Smith house that I'm pretty sure we're all very familiar with. And this is the house. Not much has changed. I mean, I've changed some stuff in the inside, and I think the carport I added here is new, and I got rid of some of like the plants because it would be so annoying that they could never like trim them. And I actually just finished playing them, so they're up to date for round 13, I think. Are they? Because why does that say there's still 2 days in summer? That doesn't sound right. Hold on, let me see something quickly. I literally just finished playing them. I don't know, I feel like this is a little off. I don't know why. I'll have to look at that later. This is the house. I guess I'll show you guys quickly like some of the little renovations I've done. I feel like the room structures are the same. I could be wrong. I don't really remember. Yeah, I don't think I've done much different with the rooms. So this is where the kids, the babies sleep, the little toddlers you see that we'll find out who they are in a second. This is like the little hobby room they have. This used to be one of Jenny and Paul's, like their youngest kid. She lived here for a long time. This is Bradley, Johnny, and Renee's son, his room. And this is the living room. I did a little bit of recoloring and like just a little bit stuff different. And then this is the main bedroom. Then they have a little room here. They used to have a parrot. Not even them, like his parents used to have a parrot a long time ago. And then this is the bathroom. Really, really cute. Okay, so let's get to the Sims. So you can kind of see actually some of the Sims here. Like these are basically all of the Curiouses that will probably come up in this video maybe. I don't know. But okay, here's Johnny. Sometimes I want to call him Paul because I just think of his father now that he's such an old man. But here he is. Sorry, my game is just lagging. This is Johnny. He is an elder for real, for real. He's 68 days old, which in my game, he's about, how old is he? He's 72. So he looks like he has like maybe a round and then some left in him. I play 4-day rounds if you didn't know. But this is him, really, really cute. He did not go to, or did he go to college? I don't know. I think he just didn't go to college. Why does it look like that? Yeah. Like, why is that not even an option for him? I don't know. Like, it doesn't say X. It just shows that he didn't go to college. Interesting. But here he is. This is his relationship panel. He has he's really close with a lot of people, like his family members and then some. And he got married to Renee. So I think usually he gets together with Ophelia when people play, but he didn't go to college. So like I said in the last part, Tank and Ophelia ended up getting together, and that's how they did their thing. He was in supporting player. Is that a career, athletic career? Yeah. Okay, let's look at some of his memories so we can kind of tell the story of his life very quickly. So he didn't go to college. Like I said, he's with Ophelia. Ophelia ended up going away to college, and so that didn't work for them. And then he met Renee. That's actually crazy. I don't remember him meeting Renee that early on in his life, but him and Renee were together for a long time, I feel like, before they got married, and then for a while before they had kids. And if you watch, like I said, sorry for referencing previous videos, but if you watch the other video, you know that him and Ophelia basically have had an affair their entire lives together. I think that love's always just been there for them, even though life has moved on and they like have gotten married and have kids and have grandkids, and maybe do any of them have grandkids? No, I think they're still too young to have grandkids, but they've just always been into each other. So that's his second kid, Bradley, being born, and that's that. He hasn't really done much, but let's see. He's also pretty into some of his hobbies like creativity and working out, and that's because of like the hobby machines, and you know they get kind of addicted to those things. So yeah. Then he got married to Renee. This is Renee. I think her name is Renee Andrews, and she's just like a regular townie you can find. They got married. That she literally just aged up. Like I said, when the last time I played, they just finished this round, so she literally just aged up, and this is what she looks like now. And she's really pretty in my opinion. I feel like she definitely gives like grandma like, the look, and looks really sweet and kind. Like she'll make you like a nice a meal and everything like that. She needs to retire now that I think about it too, but she's in the police career. She's a level 10, so she's pretty high up there, and I think that's part of the reason why they have so much money too. Then there's Bradley, their son. Here he is holding his niece, or I think this is his niece in his hand. Yeah, this is Quinta, Sasha, who is his older sister's daughter, and then this is Bradley. So this is what he looks like. Bradley was definitely more of a accident. Like they only ever wanted one kid, and then once they had that kid, they never wanted to try again or anything like that. So I never forced them. And then like one day randomly, I do have like risky woohoo. So one day randomly, I just see like Renee got a bump, and I was like, oh, okay. And it was kind of, I wouldn't say annoying, but it was just like I wasn't expecting them, and they were kind of like getting up there in years anyway. So it was like, oh. So yeah, that's why both of his parents are elders and probably won't live to see many of, if he does have kids. I mean, he's 4 days from an adult. So if he has kids really young, oh yeah, and he's a family sim. So they'll live to see a couple of their grandkids from him. Okay, then we have these two. I was gonna call them twins, but they're not twins. So this is Xander. Where is he? Xander Smith. He is their first grandchild. So Johnny literally has a grandkid. That's how old my Strangetown is. This is him, red haired. Look at him. And then we have Quinta, like we kind of saw. Quinta is pretty interesting looking to me. I feel like she looks a lot like her mom in face structure wise, not like how her mom actually looks. Oops, why did I unpause it? I was trying to zoom in. But I think like structurally, like I think her face is a lot like her mother's. But you're probably like, where is this Sasha that I keep mentioning? And Sasha passed away. So I guess a little bit of a story time. Looking at the family tree, Sasha was their oldest daughter. She was their pride and joy, and she recently graduated college, and she was living her life, living in an apartment with her boyfriend. His name is Ross Lawson. And if you know Ross Lawson, you probably, if you watch the last part, you probably know a little bit about him. He is the bastard of Buck and Kendall, and they have, they were together. They met, I think they were dating from when they were in college. I don't remember. I mean, from high school. I don't remember fully, but I would have to look at his memories to see if that was true. But they got together, I think Sasha was a family sim. I don't remember what Ross is, but they were having a good time. And ended up having two kids. They have Xander and Quinta, and they were engaged to be read. Like they were really living the life that they wanted to live. And she ended up, trigger warning, dying of childbirth and giving birth to Quinta. So, like I said, they were really in love. Like it wasn't like a love affair or like a secret thing. They were together. And Ross really had a hard time, and he ended up losing the kids. And so what really happened in my mind, what happened was like he like was kind of like going, he was having like a mental breakdown basically, and like he went to work without like calling up any child care for the kids, and they got taken away, and that's why he lost the kids, and they ended up getting taken away by social workers. But what really happened like in the game was he went to work, and the nanny died while he was at work, and it was just like the time gap between when he was able to come back and when the nanny died. It was just a long time to leave the kids by themselves, so the social worker took them away. But in my mind, they got taken away because he just wasn't mentally stable at the time. My goal is for next round for him to be raising his kids again. Hopefully, I feel like as when I get to playing him for round 13, we can work on him and like getting him back on track with his life after losing. I mean, it's hard to lose like the love of your life and everything like that. So that's the goal. But like this, his parents, or not his parents, her parents are really happy to step in and like help take care of their grandkids, especially since I feel like they know that they're getting up there in age. And one, they also just don't have, it's not like they have a lot of kids, so there's not like there's so much opportunity for them to like meet all these kids and have all this, have all these young people around them. So I think they really embrace the chance to spend this much time with their grandkids, and especially since before it wasn't like they were living with them. So there's that. So that's why they live here. And here is Bradley. I think I want to go back to Bradley just to talk a little bit about him. So I think no, he's not gay, but he is a family sim, and who does he have a thing for? So he has a thing for currently Bria Lawson, who is actually Ross Lawson's younger sister. So technically he has a thing for his like nieces and nephews aunt, they would be like, oh my gosh, like my aunt and uncle are getting married, but it's like they're from different sides of the family. Like it's just so crazy. And then he also had a thing for Maura Beaker, who is like Autumn Beaker, who is, what's his name? I forgot his name. The male in the Beaker family, his his granddaughter. It seems like, I mean, he had boats for both of them, and for a while he was getting a lot of wants for her, but he has a crush on her. But then also I feel like in my mind, I don't know if he's like pursuing a friendship with his mom because he's more interested in her, so he can get more time seeing Moira. I don't know, because I think Moira is technically involved with someone else. So I don't know. But like I said, this is the family tree. They only had two kids and he's young, so there's that. Okay, now we're heading over to the second kid of the Smith, the late Smiths, and that is Jill. She lives literally like right across the street from where she grew up, which is so funny. Thing. No, this isn't recent. I guess I can read it. This was like a long time ago when their kids were still young, and now like all their kids are grown and like moved out. It says, in search of a little teen romance, Jill found love with David. Years later, Jill finds herself in a marriage with young kids, Fallon, Forrest, River, and baby Graham in tow. Will Jill be able to be the perfect stay-at-home wife and mother, or will her wandering eye lead her astray? So yeah, that was kind of like the thing for a while, but that's not really the case anymore. So this is Jill, or excuse me, this is David Gibson, who is like a townie. Jill, River, Holden, Harmony, and Grant. And let's see what's going on. Okay, so this is it. This is like a house I'm pretty sure that comes with Strangetown, and like I renovated it a couple times. The singles girls lived here, and then once they moved out and when Jill was of age, she moved in here, and her family have lived there their entire lives. And you know, it's really close to home. So when her parents were alive, and I mean, I don't know if she's still cool with Johnny. I don't know. I have to look at the relationship. I think they are, but I could be wrong. It's nothing's too special. They do have a lot of money, so I could give them like a really good renovation, honestly. I just haven't done it. But I'll probably do that since there are a lot of people living here. So let's start off with David. Let's wake everyone up just so we can see what's going on. See, like, their daughter is literally sleeping on a couch, all of that. Yeah, this is the house. Nothing too crazy. You have the parents' bedroom. This is where Jill and her husband David sleep. This is the living room, the bedrooms. This is the kids' bedrooms, the bathroom. They also have a bathroom over here. They definitely could use a little renovation. So maybe when I get around to playing them, I'll give them a little nice American home, you know, move that bus type of renovation. So here is Miss Jill. She is literally, oh my gosh, she's 3 days from being elder, y'all. So by the time I get around to playing her, like for round 13, she will be an elder, which is so crazy. But look at her. I haven't given her any wrinkles, so she looks young as hell, especially for someone to have like child age grandchildren. But I'll definitely remember to give her some when they age up. And so is David. Oh my God, he is 3 days from being elder. I think David's really cute though. And they've just been together their entire life. Like, I don't know. I feel like even though Jill in my game is a romance sim and David is a family sim, I don't know. I feel like they just went together really well. Like I mean, I think she did cheat a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like it was never like anything super serious. She always kind of kept herself together. Like, did she even cheat? Am I lying on her name? Because I don't even see no, you know, the blades that you see when someone cheated. Like, I don't know if I'm just not looking. Who got divorced? Oh no, she got married and she was just disappointed. Like, it don't even give that. Wait, she never cheated on him? That is so crazy. I mean, she cheated on him while they were engaged, which is bad. But their entire marriage. Oh no, I'm lying. She cheated on him with Blair. Okay, she did cheat on him. But wow. But I feel like for romance sim, one little affair, that's actually so crazy. But I don't know. I feel like they've just been together for so long, and I think she does love him. She just kind of does have a wandering eye, and I think she does value family and all of that, but she just has a wandering eye, and she does like, you know, like being a man eater and like getting that. But she's literally been with him. Oh no, he wasn't her first kiss. I swear they were. I think because Rip was older than her, right? Like that just makes sense. Like if you know, like when the game starts, she's a child, Rip is a teen, so he was always older than her. So I think even when they were like hooking up, it was like never gonna work. And then yeah, right after she got with David, and they've been together ever since. And I think they got engaged when they were in college still. So pretty crazy. So yeah, okay, quick what she works in. She worked in the Slacker career. I feel like that's pretty fitting for someone who's a romance sim. And David is an architect. He is a provider, okay? Like he provides for his family, his wife, his kids. Like he gonna put food on the table, okay? and he's just a good man. Like he always has been a good man. So I guess I'll give you guys a little bit of the family tree just so you can see, because a lot of their kids don't live here. They only live with their oldest daughter, or not the oldest, their youngest daughter, River. So like I said, this is David. Jill, she did change her last name when she got married, so she became Jill Gibson. If you watch the last part, we did hear a little bit about Fallon, but Fallon's their oldest, Fallon Gibson. She has two kids, Yara and Felix. Then we have Forrest. Forrest and River are twins, so their names are kind of like go together, cutesy cutesy. Forrest is also married, and he has a daughter named Natalia. And River is married to Grant, who we'll meet in a second, and they have twins, Holden and Harmony, and then they have a younger son, Graham, who I can't remember if Graham already graduated college, or in my mind, he's always just like the black sheep. Like he looks a little bit different than them, and he's just, I always forget what's going on with him, but he's definitely a little bit younger than his siblings. And it's kind of funny that Forrest and River both married into the same family. So like, Amy is brothers with Grant. Amy and Grant, who both like basically two siblings married two siblings. So like their kids are cousins on both sides, which is like crazy. But yeah, so let me show you guys their daughter, River. I think River is really pretty, and I forgot that she's actually pregnant again, but she is pregnant again. And a little bit about her story. So she you can see she has a little bit of like alien features. I feel like she's really pretty with her red hair and everything. But a little bit of her story with Grant. So her and Grant have been together for, once again, like high school sweethearts, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he was her first and everything. Like she went steady with Grant, first date, made out with Grant, first with who? Has she ever done anything with anyone else? No. Like she's literally only ever been with Grant, which is crazy. That's them. And I think on Grant's side, he is a romance simp. So he's kind of been a little cheater. Like he's cheated with Trinity. For a while, I felt like in my mind he was dragging his feet. Like they didn't even live together for a while. Like after she got pregnant, he was kind of living somewhere else with his sister, I think, and her family. And I just feel like he was not like really trying to do right by River. But I think especially with the kids, he was just like, okay, like I can't not do this right. So like he was just like, okay, I need to do right by her. You know, she's had kids, had my kids. We're not getting any younger. She's loved me literally like since we were kids. Our families are really close. I can't do her dirty, and I can't do my own kids dirty either. So he's fallen in love with her, but once again, he does have a wandering eye. So he has cheated, and like sometimes he does feel a little resistance to getting married or engaged or anything like that. But he does want to have a kid, which I feel like, is that like a normal, wait, does he have family aspirate? Is he a family secondary? Oh yeah, he is a family secondary. Because I was about to say, that's kind of crazy for a romance sim to want to have a kid. So like I said, I think he's just one of those people where he has a wandering eye, but he's trying to do right, you know, by his family. So like I said, that's River. They are expecting hopefully their third. I don't know if it could be potentially twins. I've never had a family have two sets of twins. But yeah, this is Grant. If you watch the last part, I did feature his parents. His father is Buck Grunt and his mother is Barbara Young. And I feel like he got these insane ass cheats from his mother, which is like so crazy. Like it looked really crazy when he was a kid and like a baby too. I'm trying to show from the side. Maybe I'll try to insert a screenshot, but you could just see they look crazy. Hopefully, I don't think any of his kids have it. Or wait, let me show you a little bit about his like stats or whatever. So he's a paralegal. He works in the legal profession, and he did get expelled from college. So this is like as high up as he can go, because I do have that mod where it's like the only chances of him going up are luck based. Let's see who he's close to. He's mostly close with his wife and some of the women he's been cheating on her with. He also has a crush on his mother-in-law, which is crazy. He's cool with Forrest Gibson, who is his brother-in-law. His sister is that's Amy. And yeah, so he lived with them for a while. And then, okay, let's go on to their daughter, Harmony. Harmony, they just aged up, so literally they are freshly children. And, you know, I think she met some of the kids at like the parties I have around town and going to the park and stuff like that. But she is a Capricorn, and she's neat, she's pretty shy, she's lazy, she's serious. And she's pretty nice. But this is what she looks like. I feel like she looks a lot like her father. She just doesn't have insane cheeks. Like, I feel like she looks pretty different. Like, I feel like she has a long face. Like, that is that crazy to say? Like, she has a very long, like, her nose is long. I feel like her forehead is really long. Like, just a long face is the best way to describe it. But, you know, pretty in her own way. And then her brother, who, what is he doing? This is, what's his name? Harmony and Holden. I feel like he looks... What do you guys think he looks like? I don't know. I feel like he looks like his dad too, like face shape, maybe a little bit more of his mom in there, but he has green eyes. His sister has blue eyes. They're pretty cute. And this is, oh my gosh, his personality is so crazy. He is neat, he's shy, he's in between lazy and active. He's more lazy, and if anything, he's very serious, and he is in the middle of grouchy, I should say, and he's a tourist. And that's them. I probably should, when I get around to them, give them like a really nice home makeover. They have enough money, and you know, there's actually not enough beds in here. So, like, literally, there's only five technically bed spaces, and there are six people here, and there's gonna be another baby, hopefully just one. And then I did want to talk about River. I don't think I talked about her personality. She's neat, she's shy, she's lazy, and then she's in the middle of serious and playful, and she's grouchy. And she is a journalist, and she's a movie critic. Yeah, these are her skills. I feel like they're kind of low for someone who's a knowledge sim, but there's that. I'm excited to see what their baby is. I kind of forgot until I just opened up this household that she's pregnant. So it's always fun to go around and see who's pregnant. Okay, so the next household we're actually going to be checking out is the household of Joe Smith's oldest daughter, Fallon Gibson. She lives over here in this little like cul-de-sac in this house. Her and her husband recently moved, so that's why there's like no bio, and we'll see how the house looks. Cause if I remember correctly, I don't think I even like renovated the house for them. I just downloaded them and plopped them there. So probably the next rotation when I get to playing them, I'll renovate. Okay, so here we are. This is their home. I don't remember who or where I downloaded this off of. Probably maybe Pinterest, maybe Mob the Sims, who knows? Somewhere on the Sims internet. But this is their home. I did not build this. Thought it was really cute, you know, has a little backyard. I think one of them may be a stay-at-home parent. Is Fallon a stay-at-home parent? No, neither of them are stay-at-home. But either way, I feel like they could probably get into gardening or something. They don't have a lot of money at all since they just moved. This is the house. It's honestly something that, like, looking at it, they're probably gonna grow out of relatively soon, just because the kids are both sharing a bedroom. And then if I do remember correctly, I think I did build this like little nursery nook in the master or the owner's bedroom. So I feel like they'll probably grow out of this place relatively quickly. So I think, okay, let's start off with Henry. Right, is this Henry? Yeah, Henry Negamos, also known as Henry Gibson, since he got married. So Henry is Tank Grunt's oldest son, I think. He's the oldest son. Yeah, I think they only had two sons. If you watch that part, I think last part I did the Grunt family, so he's like directly descended kind of from the Grant family. A little bit about him. He works in the military, or is this police? Law enforcement, yeah. So he works in the military career. He is SWAT team leader, level 8, makes about $400 a year. He went to college. He is a knowledge sim. I don't think, does he have a secondary aspiration, or did I click it? Yeah. No, he probably has one in the spreadsheet, but I'm not gonna look right now. That's pretty much it about him. So he's pretty close with his sisters. They actually used to live with his sisters before they like moved into this house. But like I said, since they were like having more kids, I was just like, you guys need to get your own space. So if you watched the last part, you did see his sisters, Macy. Oh no, this one's Elle, and this is Macy. And then he's also close with River, who I guess he had a thing for. I don't think they ever dated or anything like that, because I do remember seeing River earlier, and I didn't remember seeing any bows, but I could be wrong. He's also cool with Forrest. Like I said, their families they're all a part of the same age group, so they're pretty close. And these are also Fallon's younger siblings, River and Forrest. They're twins, and we met River in the last, not in the last part, but like a couple minutes earlier in this video. He also had a thing with Stella, who's married to someone. I think Stella's actually technically married to Uncle, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, you know how the family trees gets a little crisscrossed. And let's look at his memories. So I don't think he dated anyone other than Fallon, but I could be wrong about that. Had his first kiss with Fallon, went steady with Fallon, fell in love with her. They did everything together. So I think they've only been with each other. So yeah, I think he's really cute though. I think he looks a lot like his father, and he has, I guess, kind of like the blonde hair probably from his grandmother Lila, since Ophelia and Tank don't have blonde hair expressed. And then this is Fallon, and she is also pregnant. So this is her. They're expecting their third child, maybe, I don't know, maybe twins, who knows. I don't have any mods that could make it more than that, but this is her. She's pregnant, so she has like that alien feature, since like she is pollination, her mother's Jill and her grandfather's pollination technician. She does have a little bit of that Alien, that's like her main alien feature. And then when she was a teenager, since I think alien eyes technically don't work for some reason with Sims, for some reason with teen Sims, she does have like the light blue eye look. So I do have some pictures of her with that, and she's really pretty. I think she has red hair, a little bit of tan skin, and yeah, she is a family Sim, so that's why they've been having kids back to back. And they both, like I said, they went to college. She's a foreman in the architecture career. So in my mind, she followed her father's footsteps since David is architecture. I think he's like level 9. And she's pretty close with her kids, obviously. She's also pretty close with some of the young family. So Grant, she's cool with. She's close with her mother. She keeps in contact. Like I said, she's cool with her sisters-in-law, Elle and Macy, her cousin, or no, Forrest is her brother, Stella, River. So yeah, like she's pretty overall family oriented. I don't think she has a secondary chosen. She's scared. While she's excited, she wants to have a kid. She also doesn't. I think maybe that's also because like I said, they don't have any money. Do they have a computer here? No. So I don't think they have anything in savings. So I think they're kind of broke. So I would kind of be in a situation like this, even if you are family oriented, you still can be worried about like the overall implications of all of this. So I think that's probably what's going on for her. But I think overall she is excited to expand her family. But here is Yara. I think Yara looks a lot like her mother. I think she just took her mother's blonde hair. And I think this is like directly, she looks a lot like her mother, but more specifically, she looks like her grandfather, David, in my opinion. Like she's really pretty. Let me see. I feel like that's David's face right there. Like really pretty, blonde hair. I think, did she just age up? No, she didn't just age up. She had like a couple days. Who is she friends with? She's not that cool with her brother. I don't think she knows any of the kids, so she'll probably get to know some more of the kids. She knows some of her cousins. Wyatt. Who's Wyatt? How's Wyatt related to her? I don't remember, but that's that. And then also here is her younger brother. He just aged up to be a toddler, so there is a little age gap between them. They're not exactly the same age. He has a better relationship with her than she has with him, so I guess it's probably one of those like, oh yeah, younger sibling animosities. And he's cool with Wyatt. I don't know who Wyatt is, and he's also cool with Solani, who is one of the loner kids. But seems like Felix is sick. But he also inherited his mother's black eyes, so that's like his one feature, even though he's like, what, at this point his mother is a 4th alien, so I think he's like, what, an 8th alien, which is insane. But they're really cute. Like I said, they're both really cute with their kids, so there's not really much going on with them right now. But he does want to make friends. That's definitely something I'll probably focus on when I'm playing them. I guess a quick look at the family tree from this perspective. Like I said, Fallon is Jill Gibson and Dave Gibson's kid, so she is like a descendant of the Smith family on this side, and then she's also David Gibson, the townie, so that's where her last name Gibson comes from. And then Henry is from the Negmos slash Grunt part of the family, which I covered like this relationship in my previous part of this series. So he is Ophelia and Tank's son. He's their second son, I guess. Yeah, no, he's their first son, and then they had another son, and then Tank had a kid on the outside. You can learn about that in that part. But yeah, that's basically them. So let's move on to the next household. Okay, so moving on to the third child of Jill Smith Gibson, we're heading over to her son. Is this her only son? No, this is her older son and his family. Okay, so here we are. We are back in this apartment complex. If you watched my Grunt family apartment or my Grunt family video, which is the second part of this little series, some of the Grunts have lived here. We're actually going to be focusing on this little townhouse over here, which is where Forrest Gibson, who is Joe Smith's son, her oldest son, lives with his wife and their daughter Natalia. So this is a little house. I didn't build this. I'll probably move them out. I don't really like this apartment lot. I feel like there were kind of just some weird glitches, but I feel like it's fine for the moment. So here we have Forrest. Like I said, he is a twin. We met his sister River earlier on, and his older sister Fallon as well, and her kids. This is him. He lives here with his wife Amy. He looks a lot like, in my opinion, Jill, the genetically correct version. If you're wondering, that's why some of my Sims might look a little bit different. Jill, I think he looks a lot like her, and like from his pollination technician side. So he's married to not Barbara. He's married to, what's her name? Amy, who is the son, or sorry. He's married to Amy, who's the daughter of Buck Grunt and Amy and Barbara Young. So this is Amy. And he's kind of had a thing with Macy, who's actually, I think, Amy's cousin, actually, because Macy's father's Tank and Amy's father's Buck, so they're cousins through their father. And so they've kind of had a thing. I feel like I don't remember why he didn't really choose Macy, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it's really weird. And I don't know if they've cheated, but he is in love with her. But then it's like at the same time he does really still have a really good connection with Amy. So I don't know. But he's really close with all of his family. You know, he's close with cousins. Henry, how is he related to Henry? I think he's related to through Henry, since Henry's his wife's cousin. River's his sister, his father's mother. He definitely should call home a little bit more. Some of his nieces and nephews and some of the other people in town. Let's look through his memories really quickly. Oh, I can tell you guys what he works as. He's an intern in the medical career. So went to college as well. He started dating. His first kiss was with Amy. They went steady. He went to private school. He fell in love, did his first woohoo with her, got engaged. So I don't know. I don't know if it's because they've like kind of spent their whole life together, and then he kissed Macy. So I don't know if it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, we've been together since high school, and I've only ever dated you and had that experience. I don't know if that's why he doesn't like. He's kind of like in his little unfaithful area, but like at the same time, I feel like he is very happy with Amy. So I don't know if that's ever going to turn into something. I think on Macy's side, if I remember correctly, it could have been a little bit stronger, especially since she hasn't dated anyone. And I do remember kind of having strong feelings for Forrest. So I don't know if that's gonna pan out, especially since like that is crazy to steal your cousin's husband, you know? So yeah. So this is Amy. Like I said, she looks a lot like her mother, Barbara. Barbara has some strong genes. I'll say that if you like use her to have kids in your Sims game. But yeah, I was trying to get her eyes open. But she is pretty though. I like having unique looking Sims. I feel like having all your Sims look one way is really boring. And I like seeing the combinations and how things turn out. So yeah, and like I said, she's really close with her cousins Elle and Macy. So just the idea of them stealing, her partner is just crazy. But oh yeah, I meant to say he's also acknowledged him. She's acknowledged him. So I feel like they're really good for each other in those ways. She's close with a couple of other Sims in town. Who's this? She's close with her brother. She's cool with her younger sister Elnora. She's cool with her mom, her father Buck. Gold inspectors, I guess, just one of those people she's friends with. And yeah, she works as a resident. So they're both in the medicine career, and they're both knowledge Sims, and they do have one daughter. I think most of her members are kind of the same. She only dated him, I'm pretty sure, throughout high school, and she's never been unfaithful. I don't know what it is with these men. They get with someone and they're just like, yeah, I wanna see more. But this is their little daughter. I would say she's a good mix between both of her parents, but she definitely favors her mother. But yeah, she looks a lot like her mother in my opinion. And I think you can see in the face, like she has her grandmother's face a lot. But I think because they're knowledge Sims, they probably won't have any other kids outside of her. She did just age up to be a child, but I think because they're knowledge Sims, they probably won't have other kids unless like she, they get pregnant on accident. Let's see her personality since, she's a kid. There's not much for her yet, but she is a Aries. She's pretty sloppy, relatively active. She's pretty serious and she's pretty nice. And let's see if she knows anybody really. Not really. Mostly her parents. I think she knows her uncle a little bit because he lived with them for a while before he moved in with his now wife. And she knows Wyatt, Inez, Debbie, so some other people in town. So that's pretty much them. I feel like there's not a lot going on. I feel like I'm still trying to craft out a story for some of these, kids of kids and like let them craft out their own path. But I feel like they're just going to be a pretty affluent family, especially with them both being doctors. And, maybe she'll just be like that kind of like super spoiled girl who's like the kid of like super affluent parents. So, okay, so the last of Jill's kids that we're going to check out is not David. Is his name David? No, his name's Graham. David's his father. He lives here in the Flap House. I think he recently graduated college. We're going to check out what he's doing here. Okay, so here we are in like the iconic flop house that everyone knows, especially if you've been deep on Sims YouTube, if you used to watch some of the bigger Sims 2 YouTubers back in the day, especially early 2020, I would say, before, like during the pandemic. But here we have Graham. He lives here in the flop house. I thought he graduated college, but he actually got kicked out because of bad grades. He's a romance Sim, so that kind of tells part of the story, I guess. We're gonna wait. This is the flop house, obviously. One of the things I did to my flop house is some people end up having kids in the flop house, unfortunately, so I added a little nursery for that. So this is his bedroom. I was making him up so he can show himself to you guys. This is him. He's really cute. I feel like he looks a lot like his father. David has some strong genes, but he has some interesting genes at the same time. Not David, but just Graham specifically. Like his dark hair, I feel like he has darker skin than his siblings. So he just, I pointed this out earlier in the video, but I feel like he just kind of gives like black sheep, like, oh yeah, maybe low key you were adopted storyline, even though that's not true. And I mean, maybe you can even argue, especially since his mom kind of has had a wandering eye and has cheated on her husband, his father, a couple times. Maybe you can theorize that he isn't his father's kid, but he is. He does look like his father, like facially, even if the phenotype is a little bit different. But he went to college. He dropped out. Well, he did drop out once again. He failed. These are some of his relationships. He's a romance sim, so he's definitely been talking to a lot of different women. One of them's Kari. Kari I think is actually lesbian, so I think that was just like a argument. Some of the women, Seraphine Mathis. I did like do a townie dop in my game, so it just brought a bunch of new townies. He has a thing with Elnora Young, which is kind of funny since like I think, like I said, two of his siblings married into the Young family, so it'd be crazy if he did as well. I think they were dating for a while. I'll look at their memories in a second, but I think they were dating for a while. But I think she is a couple years older than him, so like she went to college before he did. So then that's like automatically like a little breakup, even if it wasn't like negatively a breakup. Wait, what does he work as? He's a store clerk. And then let's see his long dating history. How did he have an affair with Elnora? Who was he dating before that? Or maybe Elnora was dating someone. Maybe that's why. But he had his first kiss with her, went on his first date with her, did a couple of dates, went steady with her, or boohooed with her. And then, like I said, I think they were together for a while, and then she went off to college, and then he also caught her cheating. So maybe that's kind of like his villain origin story. And then he fell out of love with her. And then he fell back in love with her a little bit later. Then he cheated on her. Woohooed with someone else, went on a date with someone else, woohooed with another someone else, woohooed with them, woohooed with someone else. Oh, he did have an affair with Kari. Maybe Kari's bisexual, actually. Sorry about that. Yeah, he just had a time. Then he got expelled, like I said, from college. So, wait, who is he having? Oh, maybe he went steady with Kari, but it doesn't say he did, because it says got caught cheating by Kari, but maybe they were kind of like an exclusive, because it doesn't say they went steady at any point, so I don't know, because I do have the go steady for adults, so I think they were dating maybe for a bit, and it was kind of like between Kari and Elnora, like, I mean, like Kari as in like in adulthood, but there was always Elnora since they like dated in high school. But yeah, so he's kind of just like the town slut, honestly. Like he's just been dating a lot of women. I feel like he's kind of sowing his seeds. He is a romance sim, so. But I think also with Kari, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I feel like Kari is a romance sim too. I think that's probably what's going on. He's in the slacker career. He has a little bit of money, I think partially because of like maybe some scholarships he got in college, and then, he lives here. That's one of the, like, he's not making that much, but the rent here is definitely not that much. And he probably also had some money in his bank account from, I usually put money in the kids' bank account so it can gain interest. So it's kind of like a little, a little like fun that depending on the parents they had, had them set up for life. So I feel like for him, I'm interested to see who he gets with. I feel like depending, him with Elnora, that could be funny since like I said, two of his siblings married into that family, so it's kind of like, wow, these two families really married each other. And then also with Kari, I feel like their kids could be cute. So I mean, I'm always open. And then also, I'm also open to the townies since potentially new blood in the town. So he's also had a thing with this lady. He is something. So I went through all of the kids of Jill. So these were all her kids. We're gonna head over to one last Smith family relative. Okay, so the last household we're gonna go and check out is the household of Julie Smith, which is actually now the Walton Negmos household. Like I said earlier, Julie is the daughter of the last child of Jenny and Paul. So, she's Jill's sister and also Johnny's sister. Johnny, Jill, and Julie. They kept with the J theme. So here we have her little household. So let's read the description I wrote. After all these years, Julie has finally let Samuel Riley go. She's met a family man who has made her wife and given her the family she always wanted. Will she live up to the legacy Gary's late wife, Desiree, left behind? Will Jenny accept Gary, the twins, and baby Inez as part of the family? So let's go and check out what's inside this household. Okay, so this is their household. They live in the house not too far from the Grunt household, which is also known as the Lost household right now, but it's in the street, irrelevant right now. But this is their house. I guess we can look a little bit quickly how I did the inside. So this is the upstairs. I think we have twins or kids who are really, I think they are twins. So they have here, and then the older kid, one of the older teens lives here, and then we have, I think, right, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think someone just aged up, so we have a bed in here, and then I think Julie's pregnant. So we'll look in a second, but this is kind of the upstairs, and then this is the owner's bedroom slash parents' bedroom, which is very scarcely decorated. Then we have downstairs. The kitchen's pretty nice. We have a pretty big dining room area, and then this is the living area, and then we also have a little office hobby room for the household. So I guess we could start off with Julie. So Julie, like I said, is the youngest kid. She is sleeping because I think she is pregnant. Like her, what would that be? Her 1, 2, 3, like her fourth. This is a blended family, so I'm not I think she's pregnant. Is she? Maybe she's not pregnant. Maybe they're gonna try to have another one. Yeah, this is Julie. She's really pretty. She has the alien skin. And she also has brown eyes and brown hair. So a little about Julie. She has always been obsessed with this guy. You can see him here. This is Samuel Riley. You're probably familiar with him. He is a towny kid in the neighborhood. He was someone she was really in love with, and they dated a lot throughout their youth. And he kind of played her. I think he is a romance sim, and he kind of just played her. He played a lot of the girls in town. She had her first kiss with him, fell in love with him, went steady with him, and then he cheated on her. I forgot who. I think he cheated on her with one of Grunt's daughters. Irrelevant, but you'll probably meet her later on. So then he ended up getting with the person he cheated on Julie with long term. They got married, and he basically they just upkept this long affair. He ended up getting married to that girl. I forgot her name. Is it Zoya Riley? Or is Zoya his kid? I think Zoya is his kid. Who did he get? I think it was Misty Riley. Yeah, he got with Misty, who was originally a Grunt, Misty Grunt, and then he never went back to Julie. They had twins, I think, and he ended up getting her pregnant, and she had Jenny, which is her oldest child, and she lives with them. All this time, she basically had a long ass affair with him. Got tired of it, and she ended up meeting Gary after he actually lost his wife. If you watch the Grunt household video, you probably learn a little bit about him losing his wife Desiree, and how he also has 2 other kids who don't live here because they live with their grandparents, Tank and Ophelia. So that's kind of a little bit about them. And Gary's also a townie, so she eventually met him. He was really serious. Like I said, he lost his wife, and he's always been a family sim, so he was just really serious. They're both older. He's a lot older than her, and I think he also just wanted another mom for his kids at the same time, and kind of just trying to forget Desiree, of course, but just trying to move on with his life and live the life that Desiree would have wanted him to live, even though it wouldn't be with her. So yeah, he ended up getting with her, fell in love, they got married, and then they have a couple of kids. So let's go through. So like I said, this is her. This is him. He's playing with one of his kids, Winona. Winona is his kids from his previous marriage. So the 2 that have the Negamos last name, Winona and Wyatt, are his twins from Desiree. And like I said, the youngest, I said kids, but it's really only one kid. What's her name? I forgot. But if you watch the last part, you would see, and I'll show in the family tree. Daughter. Let me stop these 2 from playing so we can look at both of them. I think she looks a lot like her father. So this is Gary. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's a townie that comes with every game. I don't have townie region, so yeah, he has some pretty interesting eyes. But then Winona also has those eyes, and she's really pretty. Really pretty. Brown eyes. She's really pretty. Then we have her brother, who's her twin, actually. This is Wyatt. I think he favors his mother and her side of the family a lot. Especially those eyes. The eye shape is definitely from his mother, of course, especially seeing how different. And then, like I said, they had a kid together so far. One kid, which is Inez. Inez is sleeping, so we'll come back to her. And then we also have Declan, which I think is a really cute name. I think he just aged up to be a toddler. Did he? No, he's going to age up to be a kid really soon. But he's in the crib crying. But he has his mother's skin tone, like his older sister, Ginny. And you can see him a little bit better right here. He has his father's eyes, I think. And then this is, what's her name? Inez. She's also really pretty too. I feel like she looks a little bit like her sister who lives with her half sister who lives with her grandparents. Really pretty. I feel like, yeah, she has a lot of phenotypes from her father. And then this is Ginny. Let me see what Ginny has going on, because I feel like the kids obviously never really have anything going on because they're still kids. I don't know if she's dating anybody. Ooh, she's having an affair with someone. Is it here? She's in Romance Sims, Serpents. Let's see who she had her first kiss with. How did she have her first kiss? Oh no, okay. With Serpents. Who was Serpents seeing? I don't remember. But she's close with her family. She has the things for Serpents, who is a curious. She also is interested in Timothy, but Timothy's seeing someone who's also a curious. I don't remember what her name is, but he's seeing a curious girl, I remember. And wait, who does she have a thing for? Zahir. Maybe she's not as interested in Zahir anymore. These are 3 guys, Serpents and Zahir. And she wants to be friends with Moira Beaker. What does she have going on? She's friends with mostly family again. She's also friends with, I think, Priya, who's one of her cousins, I think, somewhere down the line. And yeah, Priya's her cousin. And then Wyatt's mostly friends with family. They're close with their grandparents, like I said. Oh, he's also really close with his twin sister. Really cute. She just aged up, so she probably doesn't really know anybody. Mostly just family. She doesn't like her older sister, Winona, for some reason. But then she's really close to Declan, so that's cute. I think they are a little bit closer in age compared to the twins. So the twins are about to age up in 2 days, so that makes sense. There's a bigger age gap between them. But this is them. I think I'm really excited to see what happens. I think they are looking, there are a lot of potential storyline plots for them, especially with the other kid, what's her name? Quinn, who lives with her grandparents. Is she going to move back in? I don't know if they want to have more kids because they have almost a full house. I could technically use a mod, but I don't know if I would want to do that. Already having close to 8 Sims in the household is a lot. So if she gets pregnant, then they're definitely not going to have another kid living in the house. Or Quinn definitely isn't moving back in. Like I said in that part, if you watch the Grunt household part, I feel like Quinn likes living with her grandparents because she gets a lot of attention. There isn't a lot of kids going on, and like she's very sole focused. So I think that's her perspective. Also, it's like, she has all these siblings who, obviously she would likely be close to them, but she doesn't have the same closeness when she didn't grow up with them. She hasn't had the same experiences as them, so I think that could be a potential headbutt. Julie doesn't have another kid, so I mean, it's going to be a while before Jenny would age up. So that could be something. And I mean, she's not too old, but 14 days from being elder, she's like, she's up there. Because I think they age up when they're 60 in my game. So she's like, what, like in her late 40s? So yeah, that is this household. So thank you guys for watching the 3rd part of my little mini series about my Strangetown 50 years later. I definitely have 3 more parts planned for this series. I definitely have been taking breaks, especially since I've been busy with like life and stuff. So definitely stay tuned, and thank you guys for all the likes and subscriptions. Have a good one.